this is General Command. The Steam page was just published yesterday, so if you like what you see, feel free to wishlist it. This is a Napoleonic era turn-based war game, and I'm going to do a playtest and check it out, make sure everything's working well. So this is the main menu. There's no UI audio yet, but there will be in-game audio. You can check out a brief description of how the game works, but I think it's pretty straightforward. So I'll set up a battle, go through a fight, and I think that'll be a good way for me to test out the game and for y'all to see how the game plays. So we can set up a custom type of battle. Blue always goes first, red goes second. You could play with a friend or play with the computer. And I think for this battle scenario, I'm going to have 0 cannons. Well, actually, I'll have 2 cannons just to demonstrate how they work. And we'll make this a pretty massive battle. How about this? We'll be cavalry heavy and moderate with infantry. We'll give our opponent maximum amount of cannons. We'll reduce their cavalry just enough to make it interesting, so we could have some cavalry exchanges maybe. And we'll give them a solid infantry. So if we count their like unit score right now, they've got 8 plus 3, 11 plus 9. They've got about 20 units. And we've got a little less than that. So, maybe we should lower their amount of units. So they've got 18 here, and we've got 17. Let's make it interesting. 18 versus 18. They are an infantry and cannon heavy opponent, and we are a infantry and cavalry mix with a small amount of cannons. And we'll make this an aggressive and confident opponent. So there's aggression and confidence. These fields matter. It's when the enemy AI is deciding what to do, how confident it is in its evaluation of the score, and how aggressive it plans to be is going to matter. So, so something I haven't implemented yet is laying out your battle lines. So I'll have to get to that, but you just keep restarting it until you see a battle line that you're pretty happy with. This is an interesting one. I think we want to be spread out since we're not cannon heavy in this fight. It's nice to clump your infantry units together when you're engaging, just to take out more enemy tokens, but we'll get there. So I'm moving first, aiming my cannon. Cannons have collateral damage, so they can shoot through lines that are compact. So we'll do this. Our 2 cannons get 2 shots off and hit more than 2 opponents. We'll push hard. So I wanted this game to be approachable, but I wanted some semblance of actual battle strategy. So we are outnumbered on the cannons. That means we're the army that has to push. The opponent's not gonna push as hard. Probably will send out some cavalry to help out finishing off these cannons, but the onus is on me to take out his cavalry without losing too much of my own units. So I have to be careful of friendly fire. And I've got a nice cavalry charge on the right side. And to set up another cavalry charge, I'm going to have to send this cavalry through the line of fire of these cannons. So let's see how this does. Let's see if we could get a win with this strategy. Yeah. So the enemy AI is making its strategy right now. And okay, nice. So you may have noticed there's an engagement phase after every turn. So a general commands its units, and after the command, then the engagement phase begins. And in the engagement phase, any units that moved, or any units that didn't move, or if it was a cavalry that moved, get to immediately attack anything in sight. All the other units will try to find something in sight and then attack on the next step of the engagement phase. So these knights, so like, for example, this knight is moving, and right after it moves, it will attack this cannon. This knight moved, but won't get to attack this cannon until step 2 of the engagement phase because it's going to have to rotate and get him in his line of sight. These cannons, so for example, now this cannon is already taking, this cannon's fire is already attacking both of these units. Both of these units only have 1 health, so I don't need to use this cannon anymore on those 2 units, these 2 over here. So I'll try to spread out the damage a little. And so these bars are units' morale, and the hearts are the unit's health. If a unit is attacked, it's likely going to lose one or the other. It might not lose either. So so there's some chance involved here. You know what? Actually, I want to slow down this cavalry charge so I can keep these cannons alive for as long as possible. And I think this will work out okay. Well, I'm doing some friendly fire here, which I don't want to do. Maybe we could do a little bit of this. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I forgot to move this guy, but it's okay. So see, this unit was attacked a lot, but survived the attack even though it didn't have much health or morale. So, so it's not exactly like chess. There is some, like you can't calculate exactly what's going to happen. There's some chaos of battle, if you will. So, you know what? So we're attacking the side and rear of this knight, so that way the knight doesn't get the jump on our knights, which only have 1 health and might get taken out if they attack too much. So these infantry units, they don't move much. You can see their movement range isn't too much, but they have a great attacking range. And this is an example of wanting to cluster my units to take out a token. You want to concentrate fire because that is ultimately how you get rid of enemy tokens faster. You want to get rid of them as fast as possible so they don't get a chance to attack as well. And gonna have to figure out what to do with these knights here. I don't want to push into these infantry units that are just ready to shoot at them, but I have to take out these cannons. So I'll try something a little more direct. Try to, well, yeah, I don't want them to walk into me. So these knights are going to retreat a bit, try to circle and punch through the middle of these cannons. All right. Oh, dang. See that? Let's see how this goes. Alright, so we're doing okay on this left side, actually. It's not too bad. All these cannons are focused on this infantry because they're getting the bang for their buck. Like this cannon, 1 shot is attacking 3 tokens. But that's helping out this cavalry unit here because it's letting it swing around and get to the middle without taking attack. So this knight's almost dead. It's only got 1 health left. So gonna sort of sacrifice him to distract this infantry unit. Yep. And I don't need to concentrate all of my fire on this token anymore because it's very likely that this infantry unit's going to take out this one. So we could start pressing forward. But we don't want to end up stuck in any cannon's line of sight if we can avoid it. So I think this one's just going to have to take a hit from the enemy cannon. And we'll keep him here because if this guy moves, he's not going to get to attack immediately during the engagement phase. So we're just going to keep him stationary, let him take a last shot off before he ultimately gets killed by these cannons. And here, I guess we could start, well, we don't want to, very important to not take extra damage by staying in the line of sight of these cannons. So this one has to take the damage, but we can see if these knights can swing around and do something interesting out here. We don't want to bring these cavalry in too close, otherwise the enemy infantry will choose to shoot the cavalry instead of the slightly stronger infantry units that we got. So let's see how this plays out. All right. Let's see what they've got going. Yeah. So morale doesn't have much of a function yet, other than it's sort of like extra armor for units. But later, morale will be used with the cover system, and I think we'll get I'll get some interesting gameplay out of it. So here's an example of um, um, like a cavalry versus an infantry unit. They're pretty equally matched when there's no charge happening. So like this, with this charge, this cavalry unit's going to get an attack on the flank of this infantry unit and not have to worry about taking damage. But yeah, I don't want to keep this guy over here because he's going to get killed by these two cannons. So I want to get the most out of him before he's killed. So let's see if I can put him somewhere where he's out of danger. But yeah, there isn't much of a good play with this knight. Anywhere he moves, he's a target. He's only got 2 health left, and it's not going to take much to kill him. So I'll just leave him here, let him get some damage on this infantry unit while he can, and prepare these knights for a charge into. Yeah, I'll prepare these knights for a charge into the center of these cannons. This one's going to just have to take a hit. So this line of sight hits this knight, and just going to have to deal with that. Let's see how these guys do. Yeah, it's not looking good on this side of the fight, but at least we distracted them for a bit. I don't want to lose this knight yet, but he's only got 1 life left, so he's a dead man. But we can actually use this knight to try to kill this infantry unit. Yeah, so this knight is going to charge into the flank of this infantry, and depending on who this infantry chooses to attack, we might have this knight for one more turn. Nice, took out a cannon. Oh yeah, no, this infantry took out our cavalry, which is not good, but understandable why the AI chose that. Okay, we're losing this battle. Yeah, not much to do here. I think it's a lost battle. In the campaign mode, there'll be a surrender mechanic where opponents can surrender and you yourself can surrender to try to salvage what you can of your army. But in this quick battle mode, it's just, yeah, it's over. But yeah, no matter what I do, there's no way this cavalry unit, which has a short range of attack, there's no way he's going to take out all of these enemies. So red is victorious. And that's interesting to me. So I'm learning about the balance of the game as I play test it. And yeah, maybe we could play another one and see what happens if it's a more even fight. Let's see, 3 cannons versus 3 cannons, 9 cavalry versus 9 cavalry. And I like to give, actually like to give the red team a slight advantage because whoever's playing as blue gets the initial advantage because they get to aim their cannons where they would like. So this is a larger battle. Let's see if we have a more compact formation to try out. Here we go. We've got a compact formation, a small amount of cannons, and a lot of cavalry. So let's see what we could do with a lot of cavalry. Or let's see what happens in a battle where there are a lot of cavalries. So we're going to want to line this up to do the most damage we can, hitting 1, and yeah. Here we go. And it's hard. So there's a decision to make here. Do I want to concentrate my fire on 1 cannon? That could work out well if we finish. Um, if it that works out well if we can get rid of an enemy cannon early, but then on the second turn the cannons will be aiming at nothing if they're all aiming at one point, because then the opponent will just move all of their units off of that line of fire. So in some cases it's better to spread out your cannon fire, and in other cases it's better to concentrate it. So we'll just set up our units in a decent order, keeping them ready to attack and send them where we want to later. Nice. So it looks like his cavalry, the AI is sending out its cavalry to meet ours. Let's see if we can. See, we didn't take out this cannon yet, so I guess it's kind of good we focused our fire, but We didn't get that cannon, which would have what we really needed. We really need to get rid of his cannons fast because he's got the advantage there on us. So let's see what we can do about it. Well, maybe we'll just use this cannon to weaken his infantry. And we can start sending forward our knights, our infantry. We're sending them in a deep column, which is not good because this cannon, if it doesn't die, I think it would die, but if it doesn't, then they'll have a great way to fire on all of these concentrated units. But so now in this cavalry engagement, we need to concentrate our attacks to get rid of as many of their enemy units as possible. Because an enemy unit with 1 life can still do damage, just like a unit with more than 1 life can. So gotta sort of blockade our cannons, make sure we keep them as long as possible. They are the ones that set the tone for battle. Oh wow, I just took a bad hit. In a way, grouping these infantry units might be a good idea too, just to make it tempting for the enemy cannon to attack these infantry units instead of my cannons, because these cannons ultimately, they're the ones that do a lot of damage. So let's see if we could sneak a sort of sacrifice this cavalry, just get deep into enemy lines, but hopefully take out that cannon and just protect this cannon that we do have. Let's see, what are we concerned with? It looks like these are all 1-for-1. We might be able to get an advantage here. Let's fall back with this knight a little bit, because this knight right now is about to be attacked by 3 cavalry on their turn. So I'll pull back at least block the flank of this cannon, keep him alive a little longer if we can. Okay, this shot lines up nicely. We can start to move. Nice, we're out of range of all these cannons, and this block of infantry gets to do some damage right now. So our left flank is looking pretty okay. Let's see how the right flank and these cannons hold up. This knight got through, and so did this one, but hopefully these cannons can withstand. Nope. This isn't a bad spot, but at least he's lined up well. So if I try to position him differently, this cannon won't get to attack in the first engagement phase and will likely be wiped out by this cavalry and this cannon, which are currently concentrated on it. So not looking too great right now, but hopefully, let's see, I'm trying to figure out a way to I guess have a wash happen here, just sort of not lose by too much on this right flank. Forgot to move my infantry units. It's okay. Okay, gonna have to send this cavalry to charge into this cannon. He's got the 1 cannon advantage, and that can be devastating for me. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. You know what? Let's let these guys finish off that cavalry, and hopefully they can finish off this cannon. And what I can do is hide behind his enemy, sort of create a shield maybe, so that way this cannon won't be able to focus on this cannon won't be able to attack us without attacking their units. So let's see how this works out. See if we can get rid of this cavalry, that'll be huge. Let's see where these guys are running off to. Alright, so we're not in a great spot right now. So this cannon right now, here, let me do this. So this cannon right now has 3 units of has 1 unit of health and 2 units of morale. So if both of these cannons, so there's no guarantee that this cannon is going to be destroyed, but hopefully it can be destroyed on this turn, so he doesn't get to line up another cannon shot and just decimate my troops. But yeah, hopefully these 2 attacks land and we could get rid of this this infantry unit. Just hoping for a lot. Let's see, if we get rid of this cannon, we'll have a nice little cavalry, nice little cluster of cavalry here to do some damage to their infantry. Nice, okay. So it's not looking great, but I don't know why these guys are running away. Maybe because they've got low health and morale. They don't want to engage. Oh, no good. So see, that unit had 1 health and 2 morale, but there was still a critical shot from this infantry, and it just got to take out the 1 health. So my goal is going to be to keep this infantry unit alive for as long as possible, so these cavalry units can come in and help in this engagement. Let's see what happens. Nice. Some overkill. Let's see what happens here. Hopefully cavalry can survive this. Nice. And I guess this is the big one here. If it doesn't survive here, we don't have a chance. If we lose any of these cavalry, we don't have a chance. Nice. Hopefully he engages this guy. Nope. Alright, it's not looking good. So yeah, that's another battle in General Command. Something I'm very proud of is the enemy AI. It's I think it's pretty intricate. It doesn't just attack the nearest enemy. I'll have a more detailed how to play later on, but so far that was the game, and I'll have the Steam page linked in the description. So if you liked what you saw, feel free to give this a wish list, and there's a Discord channel. So yeah, looking forward to what y'all think about General Command.